BRUCAST is back, baby.
I saw somewhere like different from a lot of animals, humans, when they're born, like their evolutions is not done. They still need to. They have a long time that they need to grow and evolve. Like some animals, when they're
Yeah.
born, they're already there. You know that they're done. They don't need the parent caring for them anymore. But humans are not like that at all.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And, if we think of children, they need their parents caring for them and need someone there to help them to have the food, help them to, have the all of those nutritional needs that they have, the safety needs with where they live and all of these sort of basic human needs. A child is completely reliant on someone else. As you say, in the animal kingdom, things are a little bit different with some animals. They can start to fend for themselves early on, but our children are so reliant on their caregivers and those parents. And that continues through till around that middle childhood. That's when they start to look out. And that's why it's such a critical time. And that's sort of where I focus, because that is where they do start to then look out and around at the world, and they're starting to experiment with independence a little bit more, and they're starting to want to do things, and things are starting to change for them.
Mm-hmm.
They're wanting to be more of their own individual in the world. Yeah.
It's when they become more independent, and I heard that term before, like individualize. They want to individualization, something like that. It's like when they want to separate from their parents more, right? Um, yeah. Talking about the parents, Alicia. So, when you're a kid, do you really see your parents as a god? Like, because they're entire world, so they're kind of like God, right?
Look, one of the main protective factors for a child's resilience is actually that parent-child relationship.
Yeah.
There are a few protective factors, but the biggest one that really makes the biggest impact on their ability to be resilient and to develop that skill is that parent-child relationship. So there very much is a dependency on that parent, and even beyond the dependency, there's very much that connection. And so if the child has been able to develop that strength of connection with their parent and be able to have that really deep relationship, and they've got some, there might be mutual interests that they do together, whatever that could be. But having that deep connection with the parent is actually really helpful in being able to set the child up for future success. Um, so yes, there very much is that dependency, and for some children, that could come across in more of that authoritative sort of way. It could come across in varying different ways, and part of that comes down to different parenting styles and the different approaches that parents take as well. But what is confirmed in the research is that parent-child relationship that is cultivated from such an early age, the more that can be cultivated and the more focus and development that there can be on that relationship, the better set up for resiliency and for that future success the child will actually be.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I read somewhere that kids who grow up without a dad have a higher, like way higher risk of going to like criminal activities, something like, I don't know how valid this study is. It's like something that you just see on Instagram, you know. But I can see like kind of resonates a little bit for what you're saying, I think, because if you take one of those, like one of the parents of the equation, I wonder how bad can it get down the line. You know, do we have a lot of studies on that?
Look, there is a lot of research that's been done as to the unique benefits that both parents will actually bring
Okay.
to the child's development. And the studies that having a lack of either one and the impact that that will have, there is a lot of research that's been done into that, and conclusively across the board, no matter which way you're looking at it, all of it is saying that both parents are really offering different benefits to the child. And so having both is what yields that best result. Being able to look at the influence of a father, for example, they are really looking at being able to teach problem solving. They're looking at various different sort of skills and natural traits and abilities that these fathers will be able to develop in the children, and that's going to be very different to the mother's ability to be able to teach the children around caring and nurturing and various different sort of abilities there. So there are some natural strengths that do come into play, but what the research conclusively shows is that both parents bring a very unique strength, and that the complement of both is just the winner for success there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense because I mean, evolutionarily speaking, that's how we evolved as humans, right? To have two
Mm.
parents. So logically, they would have different things to offer. I know from experience, Alicia. I have a mom and dad, but uh, for reasons that doesn't matter, I grew up living more with my mom, right? And throughout my great part of my teenager years and even early adult years, I craved for like a male role,
Role
male
model.
role model, exactly. But I never even was conscious about it. I was like, oh, this guy, like this martial artist is amazing. I need to be more like him. When I think I would not be trying to cope or copy those other like people that inspired me if I had more time with my dad while growing up. Like today, I kind of think that makes sense. Yeah, and yeah, it makes sense, right?
Yeah. Like it does make sense.
Yeah.
And what the research does show is that fathers, they, by having that active involved father in a child's life, they will actually be able to develop stronger cognitive and motor skills.
Mm.
They will be able to have better physical and mental health. There's better problem solvers and more confident, curious, and empathetic. The research on it shows that that involvement will actually support further developing those skills.